Hey guys, it's Malia. Thanks for joining me. I'm so glad you're here. Today we're talking about the treble clef. Okay, so excited for today's lesson. We are talking about the treble clef. A clef represents a specific range of pitches, and the treble clef represents the mid to high range of pitches. Now, just a little bit of review: the musical alphabet. And I'm sure you recall where all of these pitches lie on the keyboard. Let's go ahead and write those in. Let's draw a treble clef. A treble clef looks like this. And this is how you draw it. You extend the line up past the staff, and then it kind of curls around line 2. I do kind of a fast shorthand where I do my treble clefs just like that. And I suggest that you practice writing treble clefs as much as you can. All right. So the treble clef is also called the G clef. And it's called the G clef because this symbol comes out of a very old-fashioned notation. This is the letter G, and it also circles around the second line, which happens to be G. So let's talk about where all of these pitches lie exactly on the staff. Okay, so I'm going to start with middle C. And middle C is a really important pitch. It's roughly halfway in the middle of the piano keyboard, and middle C is designated as C4. And I'm kind of going out of order here, but I'm giving you what's called an octave designation. So every single letter here will have not only the musical alphabet letter, but also a number assigned to it, which gives it a specific place on the keyboard and therefore a specific sound. So C4 is, I could turn any of these into C4. I'll turn this one into C4. And if this is C4, can you take a guess what this would be? Yes, that's C5. And therefore this is C6. And therefore this is C3. Let's just listen to those pitches for a moment. So this is C4. This is C5. This is C6. And this is C3. So getting back, this is C4. C4, also known as middle C. And in the treble clef, C4, middle C, takes a ledger line. So that's really important to remember. So this is always C4. In the treble clef, this is C4. And if I write the next note a step up, so I went from C4 to D, this is called D4. So anything between C4 and C5, well, all of these letters are 4s. These are all 4s. So this would be D4, E4, F4, and so forth. And then once I get to C5, this entire octave is made up of 5s. So the octave designation numbers are built off of the C's, okay? So anything in this octave from C3 to C4, anything in between here is considered a 3. These are all 3s. Okay, so we've labeled C4, and now you know where D4 is, which is right here. Okay, So this would be E4, F4, G4. And again, the G, I want you to relate that again to the treble clef, which is also known as the G clef. So if you are looking at a treble clef and trying to figure out where a note lies, you should have right now committed to memory two important spots. So hopefully you know what a middle C, a C4 looks like, and now you know where G4 is. It's the second line up, and you always know because the treble clef wraps around that second line here. Okay, moving forward, A4, B4. That means this is, that's right, that's C5. After that, D5, E5, F5, G5. We're going to go all the way up to C6. And if I want to write an A, that takes a ledger line. So that is A5, B5 looks like that. And we'll go one more, which requires two ledger lines, C6. Here, this is called the octave symbol, the octave sign. And if you ever see an octave sign like this, 8VA, oops, sorry, I wrote an E here, it's an A, and dotted line, it means to play whatever you see an octave higher. So even though this is a C5, what you would play on your instrument would be a C6. You would play it an octave higher. And in order to avoid writing a lot of ledger lines, I wrote a piece for flute that was more staying within the treble clef staff without using ledger lines. Instead, I used the 8VA octave sign symbol. And the flute player told me that I needed to actually write them at pitch with the ledger lines and do it that way. And she actually preferred it that way. So it's interesting when you're composing, you do need to, learn, if you're writing for different instruments, what instruments prefer. So let's just take a look at this little graph here in the study guide here. This is a lot to look at as a beginner, but I'll just show you a little bit of the map, half of it, since we're talking about the treble clef here. You can see all of the octave designations where from middle C, which is labeled here middle C, up to B4. These are all the 4s, and then all of the 5s, and then some of the 6s have been started up here. And then you could see how I could continue writing below, descending from C4, and I would get into the 3 range octave. So again, these are called octave designations, and they represent one particular pitch. Each one of these notes here represents a particular pitch and a particular sound. The ones that you want to memorize right away when you are starting to learn how to read music, let's go back to this side here. You want to memorize C4. You want to memorize the C's. Let's just get that out of the way. Memorize the C's, C5 and C6. If you can memorize those C's right away, that's really, really going to help you. I'm going to share some tricks for memorizing the treble clef, and these are not my own tricks. These are mnemonic devices that have helped music students for years. So if I just take the notes that lie on the spaces here, it spells a word, F-A-C-E, face. So that also gives you a way to quickly memorize where all of the space notes are. Of course, there's a space note here and there's a space note here that you also need to know. But if you know where F is, if you can remember space and face rhymes with space. So face spells out all of the 4 pitches within the staff. Then you could quickly figure out what the other pitches are. So if this is F and you forgot what this pitch was, well, you know first of all that this is a skip, so you have to count down 2 letters. So it would be F, count down 2 letters, skip E, and go to D. So that's a D. And then the opposite direction from E, you know that that's a skip. So skip a letter, and that's right, G. Okay? So let's just do a little quiz here. Let's see if you can name some of the notes as I write them. That's right, C. And you know what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to say the octave designation number as I write the note. So just to review, and we're just doing spaces here. This is C4. This is E5. This is G5. This is A4, F4, and D4. Okay, so anything from middle C to the next C is considered, oh my goodness, I made a mistake. See, I'm not perfect, guys. All right, anything between middle C and the next C is a 4, and then this is, of course, C5. Okay, so this would be, yes, C5. This would be E5. Good. This would be F4. Good. So now let's explore the lines of the treble clef. So first I'll draw my treble clef, and I'm just going to write in, these are all skips. I'm writing ascending skips, and I'm just writing the notes that lie on the lines. And this starts with E, G, B, D, and F. And then the mnemonic device that's the most commonly used to memorize where these pitches are is every good boy does fine, or every good boy deserves fudge. If you have a different mnemonic device, please put it in the comments. I would love to hear what you've come up with. So there are 2 other pitches, of course, and you guys have that one nailed down, middle C, C4, and let's just extend to the next line above the staff, that is A. And I'm going to extend 1 more skip, and that is the next C. Specifically, this is C6, and then C5 lies right there on the space, and then this is C4. And I really want you to know the different octave designation numbers all the way from middle C to at least 2 octaves higher. You want to be really, really fluent in at least that range. If you aren't fluent with the pitches that are above, that go beyond C6, I think that's okay if that takes you a little time to figure out where those pitches are. But you really do want to know where the pitches are on the staff really within a millisecond. So I wrote in just a few notes here that are on the lines. So let's identify them with their octave designation numbers, and just see if you can do it without me having to write the numbers here. So the first one here, G4. Next is E4, C4, B4, G4, F5, B4, D5, and A5. So how'd you do? Do you understand the treble clef and where all the lines and all the spaces are? Please put it in the comments below. I'd love to hear how you guys are doing and how you're understanding this material. Remember that it's not enough just to watch the video. You have to take some time to actually practice and drill where all of these notes are. And there's a lot of ways to do that. You could find apps, keep them on your phone, keep them on your tablet. There's also online resources. But make sure that you really drill these notes because this is building the foundation to your musical training.